I gotta be honest with you. This was not quite as good as I thought it would be. Overall, I think I would rate this movie about. I'm sorry, I may have to give this like a 5 or 5.5. It's definitely not the worst thing that I've seen, but far, far, far from the best. Now, when I look at the reviews, the percentage ratings from these different sources on here, of course, some of it is higher than what I would give it. Metacritic gave it 66, Internet Movie Database 69. Rotten Tomatoes kind of surprises me. They gave it 83. And Google users gave it 78 to 83. Now, the movie came out September 13th. We're on November 2nd now, so it's been almost 2 months. I'm looking at the show times here. They're still showing it in theaters, but the theatrical run is almost over. As of right now, the movie's budget is $15 million, while the global box office is just over 76 million. So a little bit of a financial success for them. So just over 5 times their budget. So I guess that's nice. 15, 30, 45, 60, 75. Yeah, so 5 times the budget. Now, I would say most of the movie was boring. I'd say by the time it got to Act 3, so throughout the first two acts together, to me, it was really only about, honestly, about a 3. But when I look at Act 3 alone, the Act 3 kind of looks like it's about, if I only saw that part of the movie without seeing the first hour and 10 minutes or hour and 20 minutes, whatever, this movie looks like it'd be a 7. So in my own little weird calculation, I gotta average that out to, that's about a 5.5, maybe close to a 6 if I'm being nice. So here's some of the reviews on it. Get to some positive reviews and some negative reviews. One person who gave it a 5 star says, tension is what makes this movie. And it does it so well in the first two acts of building it up that it's the tension itself that makes the movie thrilling or scary, almost to the point where the action doesn't feel as though it translates well in comparison. I definitely think this is a perfect movie theater experience, and if you're wondering whether or not to go see it while it's in, I 100% believe it is worth it. Due to the realism and authenticity of this film, I prefer this portrayal compared to the original that it's inspired by. I saw that there was one that was released in 2022. I don't know if that's the original that they're referring to. Okay, yeah, it is actually, because I just went down and that's what they're talking about. I don't know how many people have ever read a crime report or heard a true crime story on TV or YouTube, but this film reads as a more realistic portrayal of real life events compared to the Danish version. Okay. What are some of the 1 star says? One person here says, okay, this is the second time I'll write this review. I guess in our Orwellian age of mass censorship, you have to be careful what you say. I love the original, which was frightening, shocking, and incredibly dark. I haven't seen the first one yet, so I'll check that out and judge for myself. This version is the American fast food version, a limp burger with processed cheese made in the Hollywood meat factory where they can chum out, chum out these by the second, but only serve to fill the world with more mind-numbing junk. Everything that was good about the original is absent here. This other person says, it's very rare that I walk out of a movie and hate it. I guess today was my lucky day. Now there's no denying that the cinematography was really neat and the color grading set a pretty interesting aesthetic. Okay, these aren't complete sentences, but I'm trying to work with this here. A pretty interesting aesthetic. However, that's almost all this movie had going for it. The performance was about as good as a 7th grader dancing to Cotton Eye Joe. That's a reference to the fact that the kids in the movie were dancing to that song. You just want to scream at them to step up their game. The characters themselves are just plain boring and overused. Blah blah blah. Like I said, to me, it's not necessarily about the characters. I mean, the movie itself. Like I said, once it got to Act 3, it got a little bit more interesting, and I think it had a little bit of an interesting ending. So I guess considering what the third act was, I might just, you know what, hell, I'll just give it a 6. Just if I'm being nice about it, give it a 6. So I don't know. That's really all I want to say about it now without spoiling it too much. So the movie's still in theaters. There's still time to see it. And there's a number of movies that I'll go to the theaters to go see. And a lot of it is great and some of it isn't. But I go anyway just because I like the movie theater experience. I like the big screen, and plus the movie theaters got some good food. So I got a lot more movies and shows to talk about on here. I'll leave it at that. So like, comment, subscribe, and I'll be back with more. Stay tuned.